He is the middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman, taking on Lyoto Machida. We just experienced an interesting press conference. I'm not sure if you were aware that Chael Sonnen is now the main event, and you and Ronda Rousey will be providing the encore. Were you aware of that?
I was completely aware of that before we even went to the press conference.
Chael Sonnen is obviously a master salesman. You do that. You're talking in the cage, obviously, with defeating Anderson Silva and the many guys you've done before that. But Lyoto Machida is a very tough challenge. Once called an enigma. How was studying? Have you studied him yet? Have you started the training camp at all?
Oh, I started the training camp, but as far as watching him, Ray brought down a tape. It was when he got knocked out by Shogun fight. When he got knocked out by Shogun fight, and it was literally, how long was that? Like 2.5 minutes. So I watched that about two or three times over and over again. That was the only thing I've seen so far. Obviously, there's better fights than that, but for some reason, that's the only one Ray had on a DVD at the time. But we'll study him a little bit more. I'm not big into it, you know. I'm not like big into like watching over and over and like looking at everything. But I like to watch some just to get a kind of an idea of what he does, and then the rest, I'm just going to go out there and beat him.
Is it a dangerous situation to compete against a guy like Lyoto and be too aggressive to try and close that distance, or does it matter to you?
No, I'm not worried really about what he's going to be doing. There's no danger. I think my offense is my best defense, so I'm going to be attacking, and if he hits me, that's fine. I'm going to keep walking forward. I'm going to look for a finish.
I asked Lyoto the same question and about Vitor Belfort, and he said Vitor Belfort needs to just relax. This is my time. This is my challenge. Wait your turn. Yet Vitor calls you out and says, "Hey, Chris, come fight in Brazil."
He said this, huh? That's
apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I haven't seen it or anything, but I don't know what Vitor is saying. That, you know, he could have fought me in Las Vegas. Why didn't he fight me in Las Vegas? That's a question for him.
I had a chance to catch up with Ray Longo and Matt Serra, obviously two gentlemen you know very, very well. I think it's an opportunity for you and I right now to take shots at them, but we won't. Let's talk about...
They stole your food in the cafeteria. They do that to me sometimes too, so...
I was hungry for the rest of the day. Let's just say that. But they are great trainers. They're great instructors. How pumped are they that they get the chance to coach you against a guy like Lyoto Machida, who, like I said, is an enigma, very difficult to figure out, very explosive, waits for you to make the mistake, and then capitalizes. How excited are they as well?
Extremely excited. You know, anytime they have a guy who, like me, you know, fighting for the belt, I mean, you don't get bigger for a coach to be able to do that. So, and especially against a guy like Lyoto Machida. Very tricky, and as far as a coach, like to be able to coach me through the trickiness is you don't get more of a challenge than that. So it's a huge challenge, and we're very excited to confront that and beat it.
Frankie Edgar has always put me aside and said, "Joe, you don't know Chris Weidman. You think you know Chris? You don't know how good he is." Someone yesterday, pretty high profile, said, "Listen, Chris is special. You don't know." And then Ray, of course, whenever I ask Ray Longo, his body language changes completely, and he just shakes his head thinking...
Who's the high-profile guy who said that I'm pretty good?
There's been a few.
Oh, you just made it up. He made it up.
No, I didn't. We'll get into that off camera, but... Do you get in a situation where it's like, I can't believe my own hype? Yes, I know I practice, I train hard to be good, but I got to stop letting these guys say this kind of stuff? Or not stop, but like, don't believe your own hype sort of thing?
I know that any day I could lose, you know, and I'm not, I don't think, you know, people think I'm the most talented guy in the world, you know, people that see me train, but it's more, I work really, really hard, and one day or a couple of days put together where I'm not working hard, I'm losing my belt. There's always somebody better out there, so that's the way I train. You know, I'm always trying to do something that the guy I'm fighting or anybody else in the world wouldn't do. When there's snow outside, I run in it. When there's rain outside, I run in it, because maybe the other guy wouldn't.
If you had a perfect fight at UFC 175 versus Lyoto Machida, that Hollywood script, the ending that would send a statement or crazy headlines on Sunday, what would it be?
Man, I didn't even hear that.
If you
about my last line, I thought it was good.
If you had a perfect Hollywood script ending at UFC 175 versus Lyoto Machida, the perfect fight, the perfect ending, what would it be?
I guess, what do I want to do to him? Probably take him down and submit him. If I was just to go in there and diffuse his offense on his feet and show some exciting stuff for myself on my feet and get some respect from people on my feet, and then take him down and finish him. To show a well-rounded fight where people, you know, want to shock people.
Actually, I have one more question, because living in Toronto, I live very close to New York. You're from New York. How bad do you want to fight in that state? This is getting ridiculous right now. Do you not think it's crazy?
It's a joke at this point. You know, it's a dream for me to fight in New York. You know, this is what I do. I work really hard at it. You can fight anywhere else pretty much in the world, and you can't fight in New York, which was the mecca of fighting at one time. You know, all the big boxing fights out there were in Madison Square Garden. So for it to be banned in my state is just a joke. There's, you know, I'm in the politic world. You know, I talk to people in New York about it, and no one's against it. They have you can't. There's no backing at this point to stand on. So it's a complete joke. It's dirty politics, and it's see what happens.
And of course, the benefit is if I get to go back to New York, I might get my food back from Ray Longo and Matt Serra, but I might need your assistance.
I don't know, man. When they have food in their eyes, I don't know if I'm messing with them.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you.
He is the middleweight champion of the world, Chris Weidman, defending his title against Lyoto Machida at UFC 175.